Okay, everybody. So, welcome back to our short series on using Circle as an alternative for your directory or marketplace or niche community. This is really ideal for those of you who are looking for a non WordPress option or alternative to something like My Listing or Listable, Listify, Listio, Listing, whatever, Listing Pro. I think I said that already, or even maybe even more appropriately or more appropriate for many of you watching for something like Buddy Boss, which I know a lot of folks in our community are using. All right, so I'm going to show you really quickly how to set the front page of your circle, and then I'm going to give you a really good idea for actually taking this even one step beyond what most folks are doing very, very quickly, very easily, and very affordably. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the Homepage tab. We're going to create some rules logic. We're going to upload a video or banner. We're going to select the spaces to stream. And this is where you're deciding what sort of content you want folks to see first, whether it's the most liked or latest or most discussed, or even your own questions and surveys, etc., that you want to ask people when they land on your community, which is actually a quite a smart idea. Rather than long form content, you may just want to ask people some quiz questions. That's a really helpful heuristic for getting people engaged in your content and your community that I actually learned years ago on Mighty Networks, or running a Mighty Networks community for myself and for some clients. The stuff that was most engaging was using Mighty Networks. They had this kind of like these like surveys or quizzes or things like that that were really, really popular for first time visitors. All right. And then we're going to look at some other homepage options, which I think are actually superior to using Circle itself as your homepage or your landing page. Kind of, all options or all arrows point to your Circle homepage. There's a better idea, and I'm going to show you quickly how to do that as well. And also, by the way, if you want this done for you, some of you may not know this, but we do. We have a publishing platform called Blurt, where we take these ideas that our audience has and turn them into executed, sort of plans published in the world in 3 days or less. It's the idea incubator and brand accelerator for enlightened entrepreneurs with a need for speed. If you're interested in having us do anything that I'm covering here for you, feel free to send an email, mindfulmarketplace@gmail.com. All right, so here is a brand new Circle community that I just started yesterday on the 9th of September 2021. I wanted to show all of this from scratch, so there's not a developed community in place. You can actually see all this evolving from the ground floor, so to speak. All right, so here is a brand new community. It has no spaces, no members, no anything, and we are now going to go to the homepage, and I'm going to show you all the tabs. I'm not going to actually do the things because it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't actually need to see this being done. You can actually just do it yourself. That's the best way to learn. All right, so here is where you enable the homepage. You can toggle that off, and you don't have a homepage enabled. When you toggle this on, you have this landing page with all these options below. So this is where you decide your landing page logic. So default post sort for logged in user. These are your subscribers. You can change this from latest, oldest, popular, likes, new activity, alphabetical. I'm not sure why anyone would choose alphabetical, but it is there as an option. And here is the default post sort for logged out user, which I call strangers. So you have subscribers and strangers, and this is folks who are not part of your community. All right, show posts from all public spaces. This is toggled on. You can toggle this off and then decide, which you can get more granular with respect to which spaces you're actually showing on the home feed. You can actually do this from within the spaces themselves as well. Default page for existing members, home, default page for new members, home. Well, you can select anything that you want here. So you can have kind of like a thank you sort of page for new members, for existing members, and I believe for logged out members as well. Yep, right here. And because this is a new community and there is no other option. We don't have any other places or spaces to show. We're simply going to leave everything toggled to this. But as soon as you add content to your community on Circle, you can choose anything to apply here. All right, show a welcome banner. This is really cool. It gives you the ability to either add a video, a image, or a GIF that you can use to show either, again, strangers, people who are just landing on your community who are not members, or subscribers, people who are actually subscribed to your community. So you can actually show two different variations of this as well. All right, so you can see allow members to close the welcome banner, and you have the same thing here, logged out defaults for um, members. And again, this is another opportunity to change this for logged out members rather than logged in members, strangers and subscribers. Create those two buckets in your head, and the rest of this gets pretty damn easy. All right, and you can write a message here, title it, have a video, have an image, and simply tweak that to your heart's content. It's also important to note that you can change this all the time. All of these can be relentlessly neurotic if you want to keep modifying all this, changing the banner image, changing the messaging, changing the settings for logged in and logged out members. You can do all that again and test what converts the best. I'm going to give you a better way of doing this in a second using a external platform that we use called Card, which I know most of you are familiar with. Right at the very bottom here, you would set your your open graph and your meta tags for your community for SEO purposes, etc., etc. All right, that's pretty much the home tab, kind of in its totality, and you would just make these modifications as as appropriate for you. If you are taking this course with us, so if you're in the course community, you'll actually see all the modifications that I've made to this homepage, when you see the next video, because I'm actually going to do all this and then post it. I just don't want to take the time to actually go through the steps that are pretty self-explanatory. You don't need me to upload an image to understand how to upload an image, or to add a title to know how to add a title. Okay, all right, so I'm going to save this really quickly. All right, so it actually wants me to do all this. All right, so let's turn this off. Actually, it wants me to toggle these all off, so I'm not going to do that. Again, you have a general sense of everything that I just showed you, so you can do this on your own community. All right, more importantly, let's go and look at some of the ways that you can really quickly make some landing page modifications that are really going to be powerful for your Circle community. So let's see here. This is just a shit ton of the various. We're going to use this one here. All right, so this is a community that we were working on earlier in the summer for these near-death experiences, spiritual experiences, for a community that was kind of, for folks who wanted to share these experiences with the world. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to copy this. And I really like this landing page simply because it converts well. I know it converts well because we've used it, right? You can see as I scroll through my card back end, you can see there are a lot of examples of this because it converts really well. All right, so let us go into this. And this particular card account simply has a lot of the campaigns that we're working on for clients and for people who are authors and teachers and course creators. And part of what we do as part of this Blurt platform, the Idea Incubator and Brand Accelerator for enlightened entrepreneurs with a need for speed, is create these landing pages for communities and course offers and products and books, etc. So I have just every possible sort of variation of landing page on offer here. But let's say you have lots of different kinds of members in your Circle community, and we do, right? Our target audience is mindfulness people who are interested in meditation and mindfulness, people who are interested in entrepreneurial activities, most probably like yourself, who's watching this right now, and people who are mental health professionals, therapists, doctors, people who are teaching DBT and CBT, these cognitive behavioral therapies, as psychologists. We have a whole set of resources that we're offering for mental health professionals. Well, all those people are kind of not interested in the same things, right? So a mental health professional ain't interested in this video on how to use card and how to build a circle community, but they may be interested in downloading mental health resources to work to give to their clients and their patients. Much the same way that if you're entrepreneurially sort of interested or animated, you're not interested in mental health resources because you don't have patients or clients that you're giving this stuff to. So we have a lot of disparate groups of people, and I'm going to show you really quickly how you can change the landing pages and point folks to different spaces very, very easily. So you could say, of course, I would change that to say something a little bit more skillful or appealing. All right, download your client patient resources, worksheets, work shops, and workbooks below. I think I kind of reversed all that. And then you would just change the buttons here to point to each respective space, right? So this button would, go to space 1, as you can see here. This button would go to same space, right? Because it's the same, or another, more information, learn more, or whatever. And essentially, I'm going to save this. And I'm doing a pretty shitty job of describing this, but I think you get the point, right? So let's go back into our car dashboard. And let's copy it again. All right, so I'm copying this entire landing page, and now I'm going to modify this for, let's say, entrepreneurs, right? So I'm going to go into this. Of course, I wouldn't be saying, I would have better copy than this, right? But here we're going to say download Okay, so now that says Welcome Enlightened Entrepreneur. Access your course content, your digital downloads, and your workbooks for building a blog, brand, and business in 2022. In this section here, you would just change the space, right? This section here, you have another Learn More landing page if you wanted, or just send them to the same space, which I'm lazy, and generally that's what I do. I just have them go to the same place as this. But remember, this is all served just to the entrepreneurs. The therapists aren't going to see this, right? Or the mental health professionals aren't going to see that. Or certainly the mindfulness, people who are interested in meditation and mindfulness techniques, they're not going to see this unless they seek it out or unless they come in through the same sort of top of funnel, right? And we're going to save this. And of course, I can make 10 of these. So I could have 10 spaces, each with its own landing page, and really not be using that homepage that Circle offers, which is great, right? But again, it's not. This is going to convert better because this has a you know, it just has it's just a prettier approach that has more personality, more color, and certainly more ability to be um, to be customized, predicated on what folks are actually looking for. Here's another example, actually, that we did using a card. That's actually a lot of fun. You can see this is, I mean, when I say it's a lot of fun, I found this very funny. I created this to sell, some as part of something that's going to be selling the same community, right? So a very Twitter-like take on a community conversation, as you can see, with some pictures of Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos, and just some funny commentary that I created that obviously is just in fun, but hopefully has a spirit of kind of joy and spirit of entertainment and kind of a light touch, which is really what I most enjoy. The kind of people I most want to connect with are not folks, especially in the mindfulness spaces, the spiritual growth spaces, who take all this stuff so seriously, right? So, having people who can laugh a little bit at ourselves is important to me. And this, again, we're going to test as a landing page for our Circle community, in a fun and creative way. All right. So, that's pretty much it. This is the let me see if I can find that for you. Yeah, so this is the PDF that you have in your members area. And if you have any questions on setting this up, feel free to ask. I'm actually going to post this on YouTube as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube and need some help with your Circle community, feel free to ask. And if you want to work with us, again, feel free to get in touch. I mean, this is what I feel I do best, helping people create content, courses, and communities that actually are fun, engaging, and building a brand around doing work that you love. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and I'll see everyone in video number 3 tomorrow. Thanks.